All right, over here on the far right side of Metropolis for Game 3, it is Acer.ParanOid. He is being put in to replace Dark Hydra, who just got knocked out in that last game. And over here on the far left side of the map, we have Mouz.HeroMarine as the yellow Terran. Both players exchanging their GLHF GG. So what do you think about TVZ on Metropolis cross positions?
Well, TVZ, any map on Metropolis is, I find, to be either a 15-minute game or a 50-minute game. You have these really nice 2 choke points here, and that allows you to defend very, very well. And just defending those 2 choke points for either of these players allows you to really have easy access of 5 bases. So we're going to have to see how this game plays out. A lot of players will just go for just kind of fending off those 2 choke points and building up to a late game army and try and skirt away with being a barely minimum of defending the other player until they can get to that point.
Yeah, I'm wondering why Acer.ParanOid just said nice. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about that myself.
Yeah, Marine didn't actually say anything.
That's, you know, maybe he's just saying, nice, I like this game.
Yeah, you're a nice kid, and you beat Dark Hydra, so you're nice.
Now, ParanOid, a bit of an older guy, he's actually played StarCraft Brood War for a while. He was pretty well known back in those days. I think his most notable achievement, as I was reading, was that he won the WCG for Poland qualifiers. So he's a pretty good player, comes from all the way from StarCraft Brood War. It's one of those awesome games that, I don't know if you heard about it, but StarCraft 2 is actually the sequel.
Oh, is that what Brood War is?
Yeah.
It's the prequel?
Yeah, that's what I'm told.
It's the Prometheus of the StarCraft series? No, because
a
Brood War is way
unto
better.
esports.
That movie Prometheus is the prequel to Aliens, but
actually, I never saw Prometheus. I haven't seen it yet. I need to get out there and check that out. But
I saw it. I will just say you don't have to. You don't have to see it. I'm not gonna.
Oh, that's a shame. Ridley Scott, man, he was one of my favorite guys when I was younger.
Don't be fooled. Anyway, we have a scouting drone here from ParanOid. Not going to be able to get up that ramp, obviously. In TVZ, you want to wall off as much as possible to prevent silly things like I don't know, 8 to 10 Zerglings destroying your mineral line. So HeroMarine, of course, doing the very standard wall off there, and ParanOid actually going hatch shortly after getting that spawning pool started. Actually,
yeah,
no,
so I think he went
hatch
for
first,
the
actually.
15 hatch, 16 pool.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, just one of the very, very standard builds out here from Zerg. It's not like PvZ where you need to get that pool up to defend any type of photon cannons. Terrans have very, very low amount of pressure they can really put on to a Zerg player, especially on such long rush distances like on Metropolis. So he's very, very safe in putting down that hatchery first, and we might be seeing him go into the 4-queen build as he hasn't grabbed any of these gases out yet. I'm just going to try and get as many injects and creep tumors started as possible.
Yeah, and creep tumors super valuable on this massive map, Metropolis. It can actually be kind of daunting when you're a Terran player and you move out of your base and there's creep like immediately outside your door. It's a little bit scary because there's usually Zerglings and Roaches waiting to attack you as soon as you move out. So any scans that you waste on creep tumors and stuff like that, it's just going to slow you down while the Roaches and Lings get set up. But
yeah, and especially on a map like this where there's so many nooks and little crannies and lanes that you can really kind of run around. It's a very, very good map for Zergs to get those huge counterattacks or just giant surrounds on their offending forces that are coming across the map.
All right, so good scouting from ParanOid, actually getting all the way to that front line of HeroMarine. So he knows that expansion is there. He didn't have to see it to know it because that bunker was already placed down there. He already saw that wall off at the main ramp. So he basically is 99% sure that expansion is going off. So that's why he's sending a drone up to the top right. He's already spent the minerals there to get that third base started. HeroMarine probably a little bit suspicious as you see these 5 Marines walking straight towards it. Oh no, is he gonna double back?
I'm actually curious what these Marines are up to. It looks like they did get picked off, though, by those 2 queens. And seeing those 2 queens, you know, queens completely, whoever goes queens and Zerg versus Terran. But that's going to scare HeroMarine off for now.
Oh, wow. I totally missed any Marines getting killed by the queens. I was watching those 5 Marines that are now almost home.
I'm sorry, SCV got killed by the queens.
They were beelining to that third base, and they stopped short. I'm not sure why. They were so close. They could have done some real damage there to that third base of ParanOid. I really thought he had some sick star sense going on, but instead doubled backed for seemingly no reason. Maybe he was just looking for overlords and not actually suspecting that hatch going down, and when he didn't find any, he just turned around. But Yeah, so SCV got picked off there at the natural. You can see that Queen with a kill there. No additional tech still for Paranoid. He's dropping another hatch. That's going to put him up to 4 hatches with no Roach Warren or anything. That's really interesting.
Yeah, he's just starting speed right now. He's got 2 gas geysers, not getting a 3rd or 4th just yet. So he's just going to be really, really happy to get a lot of drones out and a lot of lings if he's so needed when there's any type of push out from HeroMarine. And that's exactly the kind of econ game you got to go for on this map. You have to start thinking about the end game more than you do the mid or even the early game. So that's what I was saying. You know, it's either 15 minutes or 15 minutes. We could be seeing Broodlord versus Broodlord versus huge Terran ball, you know, for the rest of the game, possibly. But as we only have 3 racks out now for Terran, he's now throwing down a factory as well and getting his +1 weapons and his 3rd command center. I don't think he's going to be pushing out anytime soon either.
Yeah, I think we're gearing up for the long haul here. Actually, Baneling Nest, about halfway done now for Paranoid. Perhaps that's why he went for so many hatches, so that he can just crank out 20 to 25 Banelings and just wreck the front. I mean, he didn't see... He hasn't really been able to scout a whole lot. He does have some overlords in place now, but if you just take his vision, you see that he hasn't seen inside the main at all. So all he knows about are these Marines at the front that he saw earlier. But HeroMarine is taking his 3rd now. Basically what I was getting at is he hasn't seen any tanks yet and has no reason to really believe that he's building any. So he's going to try out this Baneling strat most likely. Here come a ton of speedlings towards HeroMarine's 3rd. Are they going to hit the 3rd first? That'd be some 6 star sense as well. Yes, he is actually going to find it. And
not only is he hitting the 3rd, he's separating his lings as well, so he hides his numbers.
Good.
It's almost like he's traveling single file to hide his numbers, like the Tusken Raiders in Star Wars do. Trying to hide those numbers so that HeroMarine does not get a huge sense of this, but actually going to go for a huge pincer maneuver here as lings from the 3rd base and lings that were hiding behind try and get a nice surround, but they're actually cleaned up rather handily as Stim does go down here for HeroMarine's Marines.
Yeah, Stim is just the great equalizer there. Anytime you get surrounded by Zerglings, just, you know, spray and pray after hitting that Stim button. There's really not a whole lot of micro you can do when you're totally surrounded, so just out DPSing those lings is the right thing to do. I'm surprised Paranoid hasn't started any Banelings yet. He's got Baneling speed upgrading now, but hasn't actually made any. If he had just 2 to 3 Banelings in that big flank attack there, he may have just been able to wipe out a ton of Marines, but right now HeroMarine getting situated. His planetary fortress is done, and you can see turrets going up now as well. He is scared of some air attacks from Paranoid, it looks like.
Well, we also see that Paranoid's also grabbing his infestation pit. He's up to layer technology. Obviously, if he has that infestation pit out there, he's got the +2/2 on the way for his melee and carapace, and now getting pneumatized carapace, and just pretty much all the techs right now. Teching all the things. This is exactly the position he wants to be in. And we're going to have to see how effective HeroMarine's huge force coming out here is going to be. A couple of Banelings are morphing in front of the 3rd base.
So many hatcheries now for Paranoid, but here comes an attack from HeroMarine. It looks like these fast speedlings and these now Banelings are going to be super fast here in about 10 more seconds. This attack coming at a perfect timing for HeroMarine, because if these Banelings are just a little bit faster, they'd been wiped out really quickly. Now it looks like Paranoid should be able to clean up the last of this. HeroMarine does escape with just a couple of units still intact in those medevacs, but look down at HeroMarine's 3rd, and you can see a big ball of Banelings getting ready to go against that planetary fortress.
Oh, I'm hoping that HeroMarine's going to feel a little bit paranoid himself, as he's got a large force that's going to be coming into his 3rd base. I mean, look at all those lings and Banelings, and this is going to be very scary. Not even waiting for 2/2, he's just going to go right for it.
Yeah, and HeroMarine's getting cleaned up a little bit here at the very top of the map while Paranoid's still just building mass Banelings. We have 24 Banelings in production right now. If you take HeroMarine's vision, he can't see any of this. All he sees is one Baneling will just roll out there at the top. He's chasing away Overlords, and here comes the mass migration of the Banelings. He's going to try and take this out in one fell swoop, and should be able to do it with that number of Banelings. He's going to take out all the SCVs first and the planetary. Oh my god, still has plenty of Banelings left, and now he's going to just have to collide here. These Banelings are not any good. He can't really save them for later. You might as well go after him. Great splits from HeroMarine. He's going to lose a lot of Marines, but losing that planetary fortress puts Paranoid in a very good position. He's up by Wow, is he actually up by 50 supply right now? That's pretty incredible.
He's not only up by 50 supply, all of that supply is in drones. He's up to 93 drones between his 5 bases. And he's getting Hive Technology 2-2 on the way, and now it looks like it's going to be his game to lose as HeroMarine has not much left. Desperately trying to go across the map here with as many Marines and Marauders as he has, but he's going to need some Jim Raynors in his army. That is HeroMarines, because he's got a very surmountable force to deal with.
Yeah.
A huge amount of Lings and Banelings going to be coming in as soon as those Lings are done.
These Speedlings trying to buy time for the Banelings to get finished up. HeroMarine did a really good split last time, but I don't think he's going to be able to get his way out of here unless he just lifts up in all these medevacs. We'll see if these Banelings actually all hit. Oh, he does lift up just in time, but that's okay. ParanOid doesn't care. He's going to keep rolling through here all the way to the natural, it looks like. Let's take a look at HeroMarine's natural. Oh, all of those units are easily destroyed by Banelings. HeroMarine going for a little bit of a trade, trying to get that topmost expansion of ParanOid, but I have to keep an eye on these Banelings because it's going to be glorious once they crash into all these supply depots. Here he goes. He's hitting the go button. All these supply depots just get smashed. Nowhere to go. All the Marauders and Marines getting in each other's way, and there's still so many Banelings left to crash into these SCVs. ParanOid has to be like giggling in delight with all these Baneling splashes. Man, he just killed so much there, and HeroMarine didn't even manage to kill the hatchery at the top of the map.
Yeah, there were too many Lings to defend up there, and just this is just one of those points where it's like, all right, you're going to be able to take out my 5th base, but I'm going to take out your natural right now, or at least, you know, severely leave you opened to taking some damage because I took out your entire wall. It's all those supply depots. You're stuck at 97 supply as well. Go ahead, take my 5th base. I'll just take the rest of your main and natural.
Yeah, he didn't even really lose much. I'm looking at units lost tab right now. 302 units lost for ParanOid, which is actually 3,000 minerals or 3,000 resources more than HeroMarine has lost, but he's ahead 173 to 105. He's lost so much more, but been able to rebuild it so fast off of these million hatcheries that he's got. He's actually dropping another one now in the bottom center of the map.
And this is almost an aggressive maneuver for Zerg to even start thinking about expanding towards a Terran. But now he's even backing up his army with units that aren't Lings or Banelings. He's now got Infestors in there with Pathogen Glands, so he's going to have the Fungal Growths. And with the compounding Fungal Growths, huge amount of Lings, and just completely domination in the econ tab, I think that ParanOid's sitting in a really good position.
We have 2 medevacs moving around the south, but they flew right over those creep tumors, and ParanOid is already in position to try and fungal those medevacs and get them all destroyed. We'll see if he actually manages to do it. Will he be able to catch a fungal on that medevac out in space? No, it looks like they must have been just out of range, but this other medevac down here, 2 Infestors could actually clean this up with the right fungals.
But a couple Marines are going to try and pick off some Infestors. Are they going to be successful in stopping at least one of them? Yes, one does go down. There's a couple more taking some more hits. He's not paying attention to his Infestors at all. His Lings are just kind of running into a huge group of Marines and Marauders. But now those Infestors, they don't even care about the Marines from before. They have enough energy to fungal growth all the things in here. As he's moving in, here comes all those fungal growths. The medevacs are hit by those infested. Terran even being thrown down. Banelings being morphed in right next to the army for Mouz.Marine. And as the infested Terran pop up at the natural as well, and the rest of the forces are cleaned up.
Wow. Hell of a game.